So this is what we have studied so far. Okay, we have talked about semiconductor diode. Okay, and as we talked about modern electronics theory, that is the universe, or you can say matter, consists of three materials: one is electron, protons, and neutrons. Electrons are the negatively charged particles, protons are the positively charged particles, and then neutrons are neutral. They does not possess any kind of charge. Okay, then we have talked about structure of atom. Okay, in the structure of atom we have talked about this is what the nucleus, and then along with the nucleus proton will be there, and electrons are start revolving around the around the orbit. Okay, the circular motion. Okay, it possesses a centrifugal force. Okay, that equations will be there, so I'm not going that equation. So if you see that, so it has particular, you can say, uh, particular structure. Okay, how many electrons should be there in the first shell, how many will be there in the second shell, that has been defined by the Bohr's model. Okay, that we have already seen. Okay, so in the first shell 2 electrons will be there, second shell 8 electrons will be there, in the third shell, so it depends upon this formula 2n square. Okay, so number of shells. And even if you talk about the distance between this nucleus and the first shell, this is also one thing, so which we need to understand, that is the fixed type of distance will be there in both, in all of these shells. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can ask me in between. Okay, uh, yes, then we have seen this is what the atomic structure of your silicon atoms and your germanium atom. Okay, so you can see that for germanium atom there are 32 you can say electrons are there. Okay, so it contains four shell. Okay, four shell. In the fourth most, or you can say outermost shell, it contains four valence electrons, whereas if you talk about the silicon, okay, so silicon has you can say 14 proton, 14 electrons are there, because its atomic number is 14. Okay, and then it is like in the first shell it is 2 electrons, in the second shell it is 8 electrons, and in the outermost shell it is called as 4 electrons. Okay, so 4 valence electrons are there, or you can say 4 free electrons are there at the outermost shell. Okay, now when we talk about the bondings. Okay, so each, if you consider, this is what one silicon atom, this is second silicon atoms. Okay, so it should be like forming a covalent bond between the neighboring atom. Okay, and why do they require to form a covalent bond? Because in order to because it contains 4 valence electrons, so it will make a bond with the another silicon atoms. Okay, so this is what the one silicon atom, this is another silicon atoms, so both silicon atoms have 4 valence electrons. They start bonding each other with this electron, and that forms a covalent bond. Okay, so in general at room in general at, you can say, 0 degree Kelvin. Okay, or uh, or you can say, if you talk about the pure semiconductor material. Okay, so at 0 degree Kelvin, or steady temperature. Okay, at steady temperature, these electrons are forming a covalent bond, and they does not break. Okay, they does not break. And when they break, if it gets heated, or you can say due to the temperature effect. Okay, due to the temperature effect, these covalent bonds start breaking. Okay, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so how this covalent bond breaks? So there are if we talk about the group 3, group 4, and group 5 elements. Okay, so group 3 elements is called as trivalent elements. So these are the, you can say, acceptors. Okay, because they have 3 valence electrons, or 3 electrons in their outermost shell. That's why they are particularly fits in this particular group. So group 3 elements contains 3 valence electrons, like we have boron, gallium. Okay, these are the examples. If you talk about this group 5 elements, where the number of electrons in its outermost shells are 5, so like phosphorus, arsenic, these are the you can say uh, 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 these are the pentavalent electrons. Okay, so pentavalents. Okay, you can say that. So now, yes, later on we have talked about, I think, ionization concept. Okay, so ionization, what is that? What is that ionization? So if you talk about this, you can say fifth group of electrons. Okay, so pentavalent. Okay, pentavalent groups like phosphorus, or you can say arsenic. So this contains in the outermost shell, they contains 5 electrons. Okay, 5 electrons. So 4 electrons they start bonding. Okay, 4 electrons they start bonding with the silicon atoms, or the, okay, so and then fifth electron is remaining. Okay, the fifth electron is remaining. So if this fifth electrons, or you can say this free electrons, they start moving from one atom to another atom. Okay, and at sometimes they at sometimes they start or another atom can absorb this. Okay, another atom can absorb these free electrons. Okay, so if it is like that, so absorptions of, you can say, free electrons will be there. In the same case, if we talk about this group 3 elements, okay, where they have 3 electrons. Okay, so what happens if any atom has 3 electrons? Okay, so these are the 3 electrons, and then one of the free electrons, likewise in this previous case we have talked about, this is what the free electrons. Okay, so these free electrons start attracting to these atoms, and they, you can say, they forms. Okay, so you can talk about ionization, that getting electrons, or you can say donating, or you can say accepting electrons. Okay, so they forms a kind of ionizations. Okay, so if we have electrons, okay, if we have, this is what the electrons is there. Okay, and if I donate these electrons to any other atom, so what happens to this? Okay, so electrons, if I give to this atom, so what happens? So whole kind of things will be there, whole. Okay, so it create a whole. Or you can say that if he gives an electrons to a neighboring atom, it so what is this electrons? This is what the negatively charged. Okay, so if he gives an electron, so it becomes now positively charged particles. Okay, or you can say a positive, we can say, surface will be there. That is what as positive ions. Okay, that is called as positive ion. In a similar way, if this is what the whole is there. Okay, and if it accepts an electron, so now this part becomes a negative ion. Okay, this part becomes a negative ion, and that is what positive ionization, or you can say a negative ionization, we can talk about. Okay, yes. Yes, later on we have talked about this energy band diagrams. Okay, so energy band diagrams, like so yes, we'll talk about this energy band diagram. So uh, so we have seen that energy is okay. Okay, so okay, let me go back to you to understand this. First of all, what is energy band and what is energy? Okay, so I have talked about this is what my silicon atom, and then these are the revolving orbital, you can say, electrons. Okay, and I talked about this is what the 4 valence electron, its outermost shell. Okay, okay, so these are the 4 valence electrons. So energy of this first shell. Okay, this is what uh, uh, so every shell or every orbit is having associated with an energy. Okay, that is what I am talking about. So every shell, or you can say every atom, it has orbital structure or shells, and each shell is having its own energy. Okay, its own energy level. Okay, so first shell, this is what some energy level. This is what the second shell, it has this energy level. Okay, similarly, if you talk about the third shell, it has some different energy levels. Okay, and if you plot this energy level, so you will get an energy levels like this way, in this format. Okay, if you plot this. Okay, now when we talk about the solid state physics, okay, solid states means, so okay, when we talk about solid state or solid physics, okay, so solid physics means, likewise, this pen. Okay, this pen is made up of multiple of, you can say, numerous of atoms. Okay, numerous of atoms. This is what the solid state we are talking about. So when we talk about the solid state or solid physics, we do not have any single atom. Okay, we have a bunch of atom. Okay, even if I consider that there are there are two silicon, there are two silicon items are there. Okay, now these are the, what you can say, the two silicon items which are, you can say, this is at this particular distance. Okay, and then if we talk about the energy of this particular silicon atoms, okay, so it is again like, this is what the two lines for this cell, this is for the second lines. Okay, so these are the energies. Okay, so this is my E1, this is my E2, this is my E3. Okay, so these are the energy. And if I'm talking about there are multiples of atoms. Okay, these are the multiples of atoms which are close together. And then if you talk about this energy, so we'll get an energy levels like this one. Okay, so this is what the energy levels. Okay, so this is what the discretized energy levels I'm getting. Okay, got this. Now okay, so this diagram, if you look at this particular diagram. Okay, so this is what my, I can talk about, this is my first band, this is my second band, and then we have a valence band. Okay, this is what the third band, or you can say valence band. Okay, and then we have a conduction band. Okay, here we have a conduction band. Now okay, now the energy. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, the valence band, or I'm represented as a VEV. Okay, this is my EG. Okay, that is my, sorry, not EV, this is my EC. Okay, So this is what my valence band. I will write it as valence. Okay. This is what my conduction energy in the conduction band. Okay, if we talk about this, so it's like this structure. Okay, it's continuous structure will be there. Okay, its continuous structure will be there. Now there is a question. Okay, now there is a question now about this. What is this particular thing? This particular thing is called as forbidden energy. Okay, forbidden. Okay, forbidden gap sometimes. Forbidden gaps. Okay, now this is the main thing where we are talking about the materials. Okay, so materials can be a semiconductor, it can be a insulator, it can be a insulator, or it can be a conductor. Okay, this is what the basic principle of when we talk about conductor, what we talk about insulator, what we talk about the semiconductor. Okay, so what is conductor now? What is conductor? Okay, so if we talk about this energy band diagram, okay, classification of materials. Okay, so let me draw an energy band diagram for this particular things. Okay, so yes, so this is what now. Yes, everything will be like this. Okay, so everything will be like this. Okay, so this things is my okay. So just second thing. Okay, on the same axis I will draw. Okay, all these three, so that you will be understand. It's much better. Okay, so yes, I will give this as conduction band. This is my conduction band. This is also conduction band. Okay, this is also conduction band, and the lower one is called as valence band. Okay, lower one is called as valence band. Okay, because it contains valence electron, that's why it is called as valence band. Okay, this is also valence band, and this is also my valence band. Okay, now I'm talking about this particular thing. Okay, this is what the things. Okay, so forbidden gap, I'm talking about forbidden gap. Okay, so if there is no forbidden gap, okay, in this case in this case there is no forbidden gap. Okay, and in this case you can say a large forbidden gap. In this case you can see this is what this is what we are talking about. This is what the width. Okay, width we are talking about, and it contains a very small forbidden gap. Okay, so this is what you can say. This is valence band. We have this bond is my EV. Okay, and this is my EC for energy for conduction band, EV for energy in valence band. Okay, and what about this? This is my EG, that is my energy for forbidden gap. Okay, energy for forbidden gap. Now if you talk about this three, okay, so this first figure represents your conductor. Okay, in conductor there is no forbidden gap. Okay, so whatever valence and you can say conduction bands, they are overlapping to each other. Okay, both the bands are overlapping to each other, that is what we are calling it as conductor. Okay, in this case there is a large forbidden gap, so this material or this type of things will be happening in the insulator. And in this case where we have a small forbidden gap, so this is what we can call it as a semiconductor. This is what we are calling it as semiconductor. Okay, so this is what the difference. Okay, now when we talk about uh, these things, okay, whether the PPTs are visible, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, PPTs are visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is what the difference. Okay, now in the whole you can say electronics, we are talking about semiconductor. Okay, we on the whole electronics part we are talking about semiconductors and how these devices are evolved. Okay, so we talk about, yes, Okay. Now, if we talk about these two materials like silicon we have and then germanium we have, as I told you that difference. Okay, difference between why this silicon, or you can say mostly used nowadays. Okay, in the earlier case it was a germanium. Nowadays we are using silicon as a semiconductor material. Why we are requiring? Okay, when we talk about this silicon. Okay, so silicon has three shells. Okay, three shells, like it has electrons, 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell, and then 4 in the outermost shell. So it contains three shells. Okay, this is what first, second, and third shells. Okay, so all yes electrons, so it contains 4 valence electrons, whereas if you talk about germanium, it is having a 4 shells. Okay, so it's like a pattern 2, 8, and then we have 18, and then we have 4. Okay, so this is what the electrons, but outermost 4 electrons are there. Okay, electron, this is what electron, this is what electrons. Now I talked about energy levels. So outermost shell has highest energy level. That's what I talked about. Okay, what is that meaning? So whenever, what is that meaning? Whenever there is a temperature. Okay, so in the purest form, okay, in the purest form at, you can say, 0 degree Kelvin. Okay, 0 degree Kelvin, or you can say that at absolute temperature. At absolute temperature, what happens? These electrons are there. Okay, they don't move from one atom to another atom. Okay, even when we gives an a temperature to the semiconductors. Okay, what happens? These electrons, they start moving. Okay, they start moving, or you can say they start breaking their covalent bands, and they start moving from one atom to another atoms. Okay, now if you talk about this germanium atom, the highest, this contains highest energy level, this shell, highest energy levels. So if we get a small amount of temperature, okay, if we get a small amount of temperature, whatever this electrons is there, which are there in the outermost shell, they start breaking their covalent band, and they start moving. So that's why this is what. Okay, so germanium becomes unstable. Okay, germanium becomes unstable if we compare the silicon and germanium. Okay, so at small temperature, you can say that germanium start breaking their covalent bonds, so they becomes unstable. Okay, they becomes unstable. That's why, okay, that's why silicon is mostly used in the semiconductor. Silicon is material mostly used in the semiconductor. Okay, yes. Let's go to next part. Okay, let's go to the next part. We have talked about intrinsic. Okay, that means in the pure form, intrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor, that means it's in the pure form. So a pure form semiconductor is called as intrinsic semiconductor. When we talk about silicons, okay, when we talk about silicon, so we have, this is what the silicon atom, this is second, third. Okay, let me draw this silicon atoms. Okay, and yes, this is what the electron enters. Okay, this is what the electron. Now I'm drawing something different diagram. Okay, some kind of different diagram. Okay, so each silicon atom has 4 valence electrons. Okay, yes, each electrons. Okay, so I'm just drawing it. Okay, so bear with me. This is what the 4 valence electron in its outermost shell. Fine. Now these electrons, okay, this is also having these valence electrons. Yes, I forgot to mention. Now these valence electrons, what they becomes, because we need this electrons to be combined. Okay, so this is what the covalent bonds they start making it each others. Okay, which each neighboring silicon atoms. Okay, this is what we are calling it as intrinsic. So in the pure form, okay, in the pure form, so there is no impurities are added to this particular thing. Okay, this is also one, this is also adding, okay, with this neighboring. Okay, so this is what intrinsic semiconductor, where we have 4 valence electrons. Okay, so silicon atom share one atom share its 4 electrons to the neighboring atom, and they forms covalent bond. This is what the covalent bond. This is what the covalent bond. So this bond does not break in when we talk about at the 0 degree Kelvin. These bonds does not break. Okay, so this is what. So when we talk about the charge carriers, okay, when we talk about charge carriers, if we if we if we uh, uh, if we increase the temperature now, if we increase the temperature, what happens if we increase the temperature? So they start breaking their covalent bonds. Likewise, I'm breaking this, okay, this bond I'm breaking just, okay. Okay, so they start breaking their covalent bonds. Okay, so what happens? So these electrons now free. These electrons now free. Okay, so these electrons start moving. Okay, so and this goes to the neighboring atom. Okay, whereas you can see that these electrons also start breaking because of the temperature. Okay, so they start moving. Okay, so electrons are start moving. So if this electrons goes to this side, so okay, it becomes positively charged particles, or you can say a positive ion. Okay, that is what we are talking about, ionization. Okay, and if now if suddenly what happens, so it contains holes. Okay, so electrons start moving from this place to this place. So there is one, you can say, a short of electron will be there. Okay, short of electrons will be there, or you can say it forms a holes. Okay, so likewise, okay, similarly, if we see this particular electrons, okay, because there is no electron, so it already has, we can say, hole type of things. Okay, now if this electron start towards this side, okay, so it becomes now negatively ion. Okay, this becomes now negatively ion. So that is what I'm talking about. And when we talk about this energy bands, okay, when we talk about this energy bands, okay, so this is what my valence band, okay, EG or EV. Okay, I will write it here, EV, that is my valence band, and this is my uh, uh, conduction band. Okay, so this is my conduction band, this is my valence band. Now at pure form, there is no at pure form there is no, you can say, displacement of electrons or holes will be there. Okay, but if we increase temperature now, okay, now we have seen in terms of structure. Now I will tell you about in terms of these bands. Okay, so if we increase the temperature, so electrons from valence band, or you can say valence band, they start moving towards this conduction band. Okay, so what happens in this valence band? So now this electrons goes towards this side. Okay, electron goes towards this side. What happens to this valence band? It will make an holes to it. Okay, so this hole will created here in this valence band. Okay, in this way you can say that electron transfer will be there. Okay, at some times what happens, the electrons from this conduction band, they start, or you can say they move towards this valence band. Okay, so what happens to this conduction band? Okay, so there will you will have electrons in the valence band, but at the same time we have these holes in the conduction band. Okay, this is how the conduction takes place. Okay, this is how the conduction takes place. This is in terms of, you can say, uh, pure form. Okay, this is in terms of pure form. So if we so this is what we are calling it as electron hole pair. Okay, so electrons from valence band, okay, start moving towards the conduction band, and they forms a hole here. Okay, so this is what the hole pair, okay, hole forms. Okay, at the same time, or at some times, okay, what happens, the electrons from the conduction band, they start moving towards these holes, and they form this, you can say, electron. So this is what we can call it as an electrons hole pair. Now if we talk about if we give some kind of potential to this particular thing, okay, so we have, this is what I will talk, this is what my silicon atom or germanium atom, and then it has 4 valence electron in its outermost shell. Okay, now if we give a negative terminal of the battery is connected to this particular slab, okay, what happens, these electrons, because of this negative energy, they have also negative, they start moving towards the neighboring atom or towards the positive side. Okay, they start moving. Okay, so if they start moving, okay, they forms, okay, and at the same time, uh, this if this electron start moving towards this side, so they becomes now, okay, hole will be created here in this case. Okay, and then electron moves toward this side of the other atoms. Okay, and they becomes now, you can say, negatively charged. Okay, so holes and electrons are start uh, 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 created, okay, are start created, okay, because of these potentials. If you provide a potentials, likewise if you give positive potentials to this particular atom, like germanium atom, if we talk about, it has 4 valence electrons, okay, in this case, okay. Now this is becomes a positive charge, okay, because this is what the potential. So this electrons start moving towards this positive terminal of the battery. So if this electrons move towards this positive terminal of the battery, what happens here? Here we have this whole, you can say, generation, okay. So hole is generated here, because this whole electrons start moving towards the positive terminal, okay. So likewise electrons and hole pairs are get generated, okay. Now if there is a conduction, now there is a conduction from electrons towards the positive terminal or in electrons, okay, likewise movements will be there, okay. This is what we are calling it as movement, okay. So electrons are moving, okay. In this case you can say that holes are moving, okay. In this case you can talk about holes are moving. So movement of any charged particles, like positively charged particle or negatively charged particles, constitutes a current, okay, constitute a current. I will write it here. They constitute current, okay. So the current associated with the electron is called as electronic current or electron current, okay. Yes, I will talk about this, okay. Electron current, the current associated. Current means what? Movement of charged particles, okay. So if they are negatively charged particle, that means electrons, okay. So electrons are moving, okay, movement of electrons will be there, so they constitutes a current, and that current we are calling it as electron current, okay. And if you talk about the whole movement, okay, like positively charged bodies are moving, okay, so that current constitutes is called as whole current, whole current, okay. So current associated with the electrons or movement with the electrons is called as electronic current, and then current associated with the whole, or you can say positively charged particle, is called as whole current, okay. And total current, if you talk about, so total current will be like your current in the electron current plus whole current is your total current, okay. This you need to understand. Got this? Any doubts here so far? No.
No, sir.
Okay, so let me talk about the conduction now again. Now conduction. So this is what my slab, or you can say a material or intrinsic material, or you can say it is in terms of purest form, okay, in terms of purest form, okay. And the same thing is applied here, okay. I give positive terminal, negative terminal, or for this particular slab or for this particular material, this is in terms of okay, I will write it here. This is my intrinsic, or I will write it is in terms of pure form, okay. So in the pure form we have this is what the electrons will be there. It contains holes, okay. So whole electrons I will represent it as okay, the letter E, okay, and then hole I will represent it by this circle, okay. So these are the holes, okay. And then I have given a positive and negative terminal of the battery is connected, okay. Now what happens, okay, so your electrons, because of they are negatively charged, they start attracting toward this side, okay. So towards the positive side, okay, towards the positive terminal, okay. So they start moving, all the electrons start moving towards this positive terminal of the battery, whereas your holes are positively charged particles, those they start moving towards the negative terminal of the battery. And this is how the conduction taken place. This is how the conduction taken place, okay. Let me talk about extrinsic semiconductor material. Okay, extrinsic semiconductor material. Why do we need to extrinsic means not in the pure form, okay, or you can say impure material. Impure, not in the pure form, okay. Intrinsic semiconductor material, we have these holes and electrons, okay. We have these holes and electrons, and they are in the pure form, okay, unless and until we increase the temperature of that particular slab, or if we give potential, they start moving, okay. Now this is what not the controlled, you can say controlled current, okay. So they start moving. So if we talk about this in the earlier class, I have talked about this this temperature and then number of electrons. So this what the curve we have received, okay. So slowly the number of electrons are start moving, okay. So this is my temperature in terms of degree Kelvin, okay. So this is what the curve. Now Now if we need to control the way of flow or control the conduction or control the number of electrons or the holes, okay, so we need to add some impurities to that. Okay, we need to add some impurities to that, and that impurities, or you can say adding some impurities to the material, we are calling it as, the name is doping. Okay, so doping, what is doping? If we doping means adding some impurities to the pure material, or you can say pure semiconductor material, that is we call it as doping. Okay, now why do we need to change? In order to change the properties, okay, properties in the sense the conductions of electrons and conductions of holes. So in order to change the properties of intrinsic material, some small amount of impure, or you can say some small amount of other materials we are adding to the pure material. Okay, and this process is called as doping. This process is called as doping. Now depending upon type of impurities, we have two types of doping, or two type of material. One is called as N type. Okay, we have already seen this is what. And then P type. N type and P type. Now what is N type, what is P type? Okay, that we will see. So yes, so in order to understand that N type of P type, let us go back to this periodic table. Okay, let's go back to this periodic table. We have group 3 elements, we have group 5 elements. Okay, let me go to that particular slide. Particular words where we have talked about. Yes, so this is what the group 5 elements we have, like phosphorus we have, arsenic we have. Group 5 elements, 5 valence electrons, or 5 electrons in the outermost shell. Okay, so what happens, we need to form a covalent bond with this 8 electrons. Okay, so 4 electrons from one silicon atom, and then okay, so if we start joining, okay, if we start joining, so silicon atom, it has 4 valence electron in its outermost shell. And then if we start adding this phosphorus, okay, so this is what the phosphorus. So phosphorus contains 5 valence electrons. So these are the 4 valence electrons, and then it is having one extra electron. Okay, so this is what the, so what happens, this phosphorus and then silicon, they start bonding, they start covalent bonding, okay, with the neighboring atom. But what happens, this one free electrons remains here. This one free electrons remain here. Okay, so this is what the 5 valence electron. Okay, 5 pentavalent bonds. Okay, pentavalent, or you can say pentavalent element like phosphorus, silicon. If we combine with the silicon, okay, phosphorus or arsenic, if we combine with the silicons, okay, so it contains 5 valence electrons. So 4 valence electrons, they start making a covalent bond with the neighboring atom, but there is one free electrons is remaining. Okay, so what happens, this free electrons, so that material has a tendency to donate this particular electron, because anyhow he wants a covalent bond, he wants in a steady state condition. So what happens, these electrons, this particular atom start donating. Okay, they start donating this electron. Okay, donating this electron. So okay, so if you talk about this, okay, so this is what the donor impurities we can call it as. Okay, this is what the donor impurities. Okay, in the similar way, if you talk about this group 3 elements, likewise I am again redrawing the same structure. So silicon has this 4 valence electron, and then if we start adding these group 3 elements, okay, likewise here I am drawing a boron atom. Okay, so in the boron atom we have 3 valence electron in its outermost shell. Okay, so what happens, so electrons, okay, so these 4 electrons start making covalent bond. Okay, this electron start making covalent bond, but there is an empty space here. Okay, because it does not have any 4th electrons. Okay, so boron atom, what it does, he wants to accept an electron. He wants to accept an electron in order to form a covalent bond, or in order to form in a steady state. Okay, so this is what the acceptor impurities we can call it as. Acceptor impurities. Okay, acceptor impurities. So this is what you can say, if you make a semiconductor material with the help of silicon, or you can say with the help of pentavalent atom like phosphorus or arsenic, they are calling it as because they are donating that electrons. Okay, so this is what we can call it as an n type of impurities or n type of semiconductor, whereas the materials like boron or gallium, they have a tendency to accept an electron. Okay, so if they accept an electron, so they becomes a p type of semiconductor. Okay, so this is what the difference between your n type and p type of semiconductor. Okay. Yes. Now, okay, now you understood that n type of materials we need to add, you can say, uh, pentavalent or, okay, so group 5 element. Here I will write group 5. Here we need a group 3 elements needs to be added. Let us talk about now n type. Okay, so I think we will stop it here. Okay, it's 11:55 right now. Okay, so we have some, you can say, uh, small things are remaining. Okay, like n type, how they conduct. Okay, and then we are talking about p type of semiconductor and then how they will conduct. Okay, and if you understood this, okay, n type, p type. Okay, then we need to form this n type of material along with the p type of material. Okay, so this is my n and p type of material. If we chemically combine, this is we call it as a diode. Okay, this is we are calling it as diode. Okay, and then from diode we have this. If we made this material like npn, this is what we are forming as a transistor. Okay, so what is diode, what is transistor? Okay, okay, so that's why I'm giving much more, you can say, focus on this particular things. Okay, if you understood this basic, then the characteristics of diode and then the characteristics of transistors you are able to easily understand. Okay, so just I'm stopping here because I need to go ahead with the n type of material again, then conduction. Okay, I need to draw, so it will not complete within 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, so that we can start it fresh, okay, in the next class. Okay, so any doubts are there? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, so I will share you the attendance sheet. Just wait. So you're from mechanical, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so I have shared you the attendance sheet. You can mark your attendance and then you can leave this class. Okay. Ketan, you can leave. Prathamesh, Tale.
यस सर वो रोल नंबर दिख रहा था मैं बुक्स में मेरे।
ओके ओके, मार्क करो और निकल जाओ। हाँ,
हाँ यस सर।
Krutika, class is over.